Yeah, he gonna swing on me. I ain't did nothing to that man, bro.
Atlanta's nightlife has seen its fair share of bizarre incidents. Even those who have been there for years, however, were shocked by what happened last night. Everything appeared to be supercharged that night, with music playing continuously and lights flashing throughout the floor like fireworks. The atmosphere was infectious. Locals and tourists, as well as celebrities and influencers, turned out in search of pleasure, but not everyone showed up to dance and party. When some people showed up with unresolved business, tension was about to explode in front of everyone. In the VIP area, Kirk Frost and young Jock were acting strangely. Their behavior last night seemed odd, despite the fact that they were well-dressed. These two are usually the life of the party, holding court while drinking, joking, and grinning.
I just had to cool off, right? Just get my mind right, man, you know. But I really gotta get this off my shit, man. And all that.
They sat quietly in their booth, barely talking and sipping their drinks, constantly scanning the crowd as though they were waiting for someone. As Jock leaned down to talk quietly while keeping his eyes on the dance floor, Kirk gave a small nod. Most of the people in the club said they looked at ease, even easygoing. But if you looked closely, you could see that they were anything but at ease. They weren't arriving as the others had, because they were not wasting any time and had a fantastic view of the entire club from the VIP booth. They weren't there to celebrate. Evidently, they were waiting, and the man they were watching showed up right away. As usual, Scrappy strode in, sounding as if the whole room were his. You could feel the shift as soon as he walked into the room. His gang was all around him. His smile lit up the room as he dapped folks up and down. Hugs, high fives, and handshakes. Scrappy knew them all, so he made sure they noticed him. As soon as the cameras came on, people gathered to shake his hand or snap selfies. Even though most of the audience moved toward the excitement, his presence alone increased the energy level. However, his eyes never left him. Kirk and Jock stayed in that booth, watching his every move. They were focused, quiet, and clearly anticipating something more than a good time. They were neither amazed nor smiling. Others in the throng started to see it too. One of the bar's dancers stopped twerking to glance at the VIP booth. Without drawing too much attention to themselves, security guards crept discreetly closer to the activity. Loads of focus, the DJ even slowed down his mix a bit, not sure if the vibe was shifting or if it was all in his head. Kirk murmured something else to Jock while leaning back in the booth. This time, Jock didn't even nod. Instead, he checked something on his phone before raising his head again and continuing to stare at Scrappy. She paused before coming to their table when the waiter brought another bottle. The way they, among faces, she felt uncomfortable. She stepped back silently and put the bottle down softly. She understood the pressure too. The air was dense, and those who were listening felt that something was about to happen, even if it wasn't immediately obvious. Despite the cacophony of the room, Kirk and Jock's silence spoke more than words could. They were just waiting for the right opportunity.
Look at me. Let me go. Look at me. Look at me.
Man, I am frustrated.
But Scrappy was still in his element, laughing and posing for photos as he danced to the music with his friends, when one of his boys leaned close and whispered something to him. There was minimal alteration in Scrappy's face. He turned his head and looked at Kirk and Jock over his shoulder. A moment later, Kirk and Jock emerged from their booth and began negotiating the crowd. The atmosphere suddenly changed. They didn't shout, didn't create any noise. However, the way they moved caused the crowd to thin out as they got closer to Scrappy, creating the sense that something significant was going to take place. Scrappy took note as well, turning to face them while keeping his arms slightly out in a relaxed but clearly alert position. "What's up?" he asked, trying to be calm. He made no sound. Not yet, just curious, maybe even trying to uphold keeping. The temperature from rising too high. Kirk, however, didn't smile back. They came too close, and Jock said nothing. All of a sudden, the music sounded too loud for the occasion. Jock was the first to speak, leaning forward and speaking in a clear but low voice. "We heard what you said," Scrap replied, glancing down at him. "Kirk, you didn't wait and have been talking too much. What do you know? You're grinning at us from both sides while talking behind our backs." Then Kirk pulled out his phone and presented, "It is proof." Did you think we wouldn't find out we have receipts? Jock added one more remark. Last week, you uttered your words in that studio. Dude, everyone sent us everything. Scrappy's expression changed. He glanced at the phone, then at Kirk. And that's not even the whole discussion. You folks are twisting it, but why? Although it doesn't sound that way, I said what I said. Now, things. The temperature is rising. As Scrappy moved, his face reddened. Why are you all acting as though I'm not, since I've been honest with them, both more times than I can recall? He looked straight at them. Isn't there anyone faithful these days? Man, do you think I'm scared of your tiny receipts? You are also half false. The entire club was paying attention. Security was getting closer, and people were calling. The DJ Scrappy lowered the volume a bit more and gestured to Kirk's phone. It touched a nerve to demonstrate to the others how we were deftly discussing me when I wasn't present. You wish to make a point? Jock started to move, but Kirk stopped him. Give him a chance to talk and let him finish. I restrained Isle while, Scrappy continued, and now you're prepared to throw everything away because I took a few things out of context.
Y'all ain't with me. I don't have nobody.
I'm with you.
Like all that talking, cuz I need y'all to show me, cuz.
They were suddenly surrounded by the crowd. Although they were not too close, the tension was high enough to let everyone realize that this was about loyalty, respect, and trust now, not just gossip. Atlantans don't play with these three things. Jock bumped into Scrappy's face. The two, males did not shift from one chest to the other. Kirk replaced Jock. You may want to back off before things get out of control. Warned Jock stepped forward just enough to enrage Scrappy, who shoved him hard in the chest. Jock hit someone behind, him after falling backward. One of the drinks spilled. The glass hit the floor. Kirk leaped to his feet. People surged in from all sides. One of Scrappy's crew members grabbed him in an effort to pull him back, but that only made things worse. Another man stumbled over a chair and collided with another person. Extra drinks spilled. The tables were strewn about, and the audience that had been watching was now engaged in an actual fight. They were yelling. Phones flew into the air, and the dance floor was a whirlwind of shouting, flashing lights, and chaos. Security failed to hold. All of them were in black, and they hurried in from all directions. Kirk was pulled away by one guard. Someone else positioned themselves between Scrappy and Jock before any blows could be delivered. Scrappy's team, however, was not giving up. Don't touch him like that, one of his men said while pushing a bouncer. It was moving fast. Tables were flipped over and chairs thrown aside. Someone shrieked as a drink sprayed all over her clothes. Now Scrappy's celebration booth looked like a battlefield.
When
Security took over, the music completely stopped. All that could be heard near the club's entrance was shouting and chaos. Tight-faced security officers took Kirk and Jock out a side entrance. Silently, with their fists clenched, Scrappy and his group were dragged away. Let it go, bro. One of his boys whispered, taking him by the arm. Not in this place. Outside the club, people were immediately sharing video snippets with commentary and different points of view. One video garnered thousands of views in a matter of minutes. Somebody else tweeted, "Hey, that was Jock and Scrappy." The whole club became aware of the online side-picking. Others placed the responsibility on Kirk and Jock. Scrappy was mentioned by others, went too far, but everyone believed it to be insane. But the fight wasn't about Scrappy's, business alliances, or club performances. Now that everyone is aware of it, it's obvious that this was more than a nightclub altercation. It involved friendships breaking down, business relationships disintegrating, and real consequences. There are already rumors of canceled performances, lost endorsements, and potential legal action should someone make accusations. What do you think about the issue in general? For more updates, remember to subscribe to this channel and leave your thoughts in the comments section below. The music stopped as security took over. Completely. There was calm save for the sounds of shouting and chaos near the club's entrance. Kirk and Jock were led out a side door by guarded security personnel. Silently, with their fists clenched, Scrappy and his group were dragged away. Let it go, bro, one of his boys whispered, taking him by the arm. Not in this place. Outside the club, people were immediately sharing videos. different camera angles, and the video's narration, one video garnered thousands of views in a matter of minutes. Somebody else tweeted, "Hey, that was Jock and Scrappy." The whole club became aware of the online side-picking. Others placed the responsibility on Kirk and Jock. Everyone thought Scrappy had overreached himself, but some. Insane Kirk and Jock will have ties throughout Atlanta, including club performances, business collaborations, and Scrappies, even though the conflict didn't last long. Now that everyone is aware of it, it's obvious that this was more than a nightclub altercation. It involved friendships breaking down, business relationships disintegrating, and real consequences. There are already rumors of canceled performances, lost endorsements, and potential legal action should someone make accusations. What do you think about the issue in general? For more updates, remember to subscribe to this channel and leave your thoughts in the comments section below.